0.0.
Good morning, Indy Nation, and welcome to part 2 of the 2022 Indy Madness Selection Show. I'm Sarah Johnson.
And I'm Mackie Bruce. We have 2 more regions to unveil in just a few moments. Voting will be officially open for the first round.
Let's get right to it. Here's more on the trainer region. The first seed in the trainer region are the seniors, who are looking to get their first Indy Madness title. They're taking on Winter Guard. The other matchups are boys basketball against gymnastics, football games versus girls basketball, Indy Bad Parking versus Schoology, Snow Day versus Indy Lacrosse, Cheer State Championship versus Tiger Time, Gourmet Foods versus Indy Soccer, and finally Pep Rally versus Indy Softball in what should be a very competitive 15-2 matchup. Now to break down this region, let's toss it over to Jack Kellen and Tommy Gerganis.
In the trainer region, you also have 4-seed Indy Bad Parking. There's a lot of humor involved with that account. I think they'll probably make a big run, but how do you think they'll match up against Schoology?
So Schoology, everyone really loves them. Indy Bad Parking, they had massive wins early in the year. Everyone was on them. They were massive. Everyone knew about them. Now it's like they still exist. They got to be more relevant. They're not on their game. Schoology, we all hate it, but at least it's still there. Indy Bad Parking, it just disappeared.
We are almost ready to start the competition, but first we have one more region to unveil.
Here are the matchups in the Piccolomini region.
At the top of the Piccolomini region is 1-16 matchup of freshman versus school lunch. After that, a very interesting matchup of history department versus Indy wrestling. Then, Indy volleyball against the very popular vending machines. SCA versus DECA, and in the Battle of the Titans, a newcomer, INN theme song takes on Indy Serves in the 11-6 matchup. Indy Golf takes on Indy Cross Country, PE Department against Indy Fidgets, and finally Baseball State Championship versus Indy Track and Field. Let's turn it back over to Jack and Tommy to get their take.
And that brings us to our final match. I think this is a big one, SCA versus DECA. Tommy, what do you think about this one?
Well, of course, they're both, student-involved organizations. They're pretty prevalent around the school. I think one thing to take into account here is the differences in followers on Instagram. You see, Indy Serves, they've got 864. DECA only has 453. I think that is not the complete story, but I think it's a good indicator that Indy Serves will probably take home that particular victory right there.
I think this is a massive matchup. I think whichever team wins this one, I think has a good shot of going all the way to the Final Four and possibly even winning it all.
Now, the time you guys have all been waiting for. The competition begins.
Get out your phone, get on Instagram, be sure you're following Indy Nation News, and click on Stories where you'll find each matchup for the first round.
All you have to do is pick the team you want to win for each matchup. It's that simple. Then tune in next week to find out which teams won, and to get more on the next round of the competition.
But you need to act now. Voting only lasts until midnight tonight, so vote early and encourage others to vote often. This is March. That's all the time we have for this special edition of Indy Nation News. See you next week.